disconnected from the world again. I know the sun don't shine in the place I've been. So why you keep acting like I don't exist? Yeah, I feel like I'm ready to die, but I can't commit. So I ask myself, when will I live? I've set myself on fire to feel the burn. I'm scared that I'm never gonna be repaired. Put me out of my misery. My mind feels like an arch enemy. Can't look me in the eye. I don't know what hurts the most. Hold it on or let it go. Reliving my memories, and they're killing me one by one.
Never touch myself again. Got a brain like a hurricane. Me and that bitch, no, we can't be friends. And I don't even care now. Got me sinking to a dark place. Evil twin under the staircase. Oh my god, think I'm looking at a long night. I'm alone, I'm alone, I'm alone, I'm alone. Terrified. Annihilation never looks so bright. Shut up. Hush your mouth, you talk too much.
Put me out of my misery. My mind feels like an arch enemy. Can't look me in the eyes. I don't know what hurts the most. Hold it on or let it go. Reliving my memories, and they're killing me one by one. And I'm staring into the void again. No one knows what a mess I'm in. The voices in my head say I'm just being paranoid, but it's bad for my health. How much I hate myself, I suffocate. The way it pulls me underneath. Put me out of my misery. My mind feels like an arch enemy. Can't look me in the eyes. I don't know what hurts the most. Hold it on or let it go. Reliving my memories, and they're killing me one by one. Yeah, it's killing me one by one, and they're killing me one by one.
Yeah. When I was 9, I'd make believe the good guy always caught the thief. The room went dark and I couldn't sleep. I was in over my head. At 15, I would look around, and all my friends had it figured out. They all thought it, but they never said out loud. I was in over my head. Oh, I feel this vertigo. Sick of being an optimist. I'm trying, but I'm in over my head. feel this vertigo. Sick of being an optimist. I'm trying. Deep down it hurts to know how bad I wanna call it quits. I'm trying. But I can't hear myself. I can't hear myself though. I can't hear shit. It's because my headphones aren't plugged in. I'll do it live. Cause I'm in over my head.
Teardrops. For fun, force feed our fear until our hearts go numb. Addicted to a lonely kind of love. What I wanna know is how we got this stressed out, paranoid. Everything is going dark. Nothing makes me sadder than my head. I'm running out of teardrops. Let it hurt till it stops. I can't keep my grip. I'm slipping away from me. Oh God, everything is so full, but I can't feel a thing. The emptiness is heavier than you think. I'm tripping on the edge, high as a kite. I'm never coming down. And if you hear me, guess you know how it feels to be alone. That's how we get this stressed out, paranoid. Everything is going dark. Nothing makes me sadder than my head. I'm running out of teardrops. Let it hurt till it stops. I can't keep my grip. I'm slipping away from me. Oh God, everything is so full, but I can't feel a thing. The emptiness is heavier than you think. Suicidal, violent, tragic state of mind. Lost my halo, now I'm my own antichrist. Suicidal, violent, tragic state of mind. Lost my halo, now I'm my own antichrist. Running out of teardrops, let it hurt till it stops. I can't keep my grip, I'm slipping away from me. Oh God, everything is so full, but I can't feel a thing. The emptiness is heavier than you think. I'm running out of teardrops. Let it hurt till it stops. I can't keep my grip. I'm slipping away from me. Oh God, everything is so far, but I can't feel a thing. The emptiness is heavier than you think. The emptiness is heavier than you think. you're looking for the other side. Feeling nothing ever seems quite right. Are you stuck in the dream, but getting no comparing? I need to know where your loyalties lie. Tell me how you're gonna fuck up mine. Do you really wanna twist a knife in the belly? Get the fuck up, wake the fuck up, wipe the system and burn the fuck up. You're a puppet with the gun, your strings up. Don't come crawling back. I'll fight for you until I die. Kingslayer, destroying castles in the sky. Kingslayer, forever hold the apple of my eye. As sacrifice it holds the gauge, you never have to battle. Kingslayer, come and collect us from This is your wake-up call. I'm going down the rabbit hole. Are you ready? I can feel you!
The following video is owned by World Online Racing Championship. However, none of the clips or music used in the video are actually owned by World Online Racing Championship. These are under use of the Fair Use Agreement via YouTube. Thank you.
Hey y'all, it's racing day, so loud out here I can't hear a thing. Man, the fans are going wild. And these drivers came to rock, and no place else but Fox knows how to do it NASCAR style. Buggity, 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 let's go racing, boys! Hey now, here we go, race day. Don't you be going slow. Keep that pedal down on the floor. Push it to the crowd, can't take no more than that. Set the flag, came down the air to the last lap around. When dog week, it's time to play. Gonna get a little bit sideways. Hey, set the flag, came down the air to the last lap around. When dog week, it's time to play. Gonna get a little bit sideways.
Welcome everybody, as the dawn of a new era begins tonight. A new year, another race for some of these guys. drivers of new, drivers of old, come together to begin what will hopefully be the biggest year yet for the World Online Racing Championship here at the World Center of Racing in Daytona International Speedway. Welcome everybody to WORC TV. My name is Braison Collins, and I will be solo today as we, well, as I just said, begin the dawn of a new era as the JP Designs Truck Series here for the World Online Racing Championship begins its second season. First time we've ever actually had a second season of something here at Daytona. Last time I was at Daytona personally, um, things didn't end up very well for me, but hopefully things outlook a little bit better today as unfortunately I had to register as a driver in order to get this thing broadcasted. So we will not be able to view drivers qualifying. However, I can pull up the ticker here, fancy little ticker, and we can see how qualifying is going for some of these guys. So as you see, looks like Garrett A. White top of the board. He is the defending winner actually of this exact race. Last season he won it. However, we are going to bring in our previous season's champion. He's making a number change. We're going to see if we can get a hold of him here, and that will be Mr. Jay Mulder. I don't know why it's not. Let's see here. It will not let me pull up the Jay Mulder graphic for the interview. However, we are going to try to bring in Mr. Mulder and see if we can get a quick little interview with him here from the waiting room. Let's see if we can bring him in. Hey Jay, you're in the WORC TV booth. You got a copy? All right, Jay. Well, um, as I said, beginning a new era here. However, it's a new season for you, but for the first time, you can call yourself a defending champion. What are your thoughts going into this season and into this race in general?
You know, keep the truck clean. Hopefully, we have some good races and just have a good time this season.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, last season you pulled away with a championship, so we'll see if you have another one in the bag this season. You got anybody you want to thank before I let you go, Jay?
Nah, not tonight.
All right. Well, guys, that was your defending champion. First time he's been able to say that in his WORC career, Jay Mulder. Thank you, Jay.
Thank you.
All right, y'all, that was Jay Mulder once again. Um, so as you see here on our ticker, it looks like Garrett A. White is going to have the pole over newcomer Chase Marsden. Now, since this is the second season, we are doing a Rookie of the Year battle, and Garrett White is eligible because despite his Daytona win, that was actually the only race he attended. Um, last season. So Garrett A. White starting pole position it looks. Chase Marsden rookie P2, Mark Frimpong P3, Clayton Ramstead P4, and Jaden Carter P5. Looks like that's going to round them out for today's event. So now that we're gridding, we will bring in our grid for today. Let's see what we're working with here. As I just said, pole position today, the 26th, Garrett A. White. Then we've got the 23, Chase Marsden. Then inside row 2, Mark Frimpong, Clayton Ramstead, Jaden Carter, Richard Mandoncha, John Canizaro, Timmy Spatz. Next up on the grid, we've got Joe Knockel, Hunter Fox, Amir Page, Alexander Gangler, Bobby Pastelok, and Cole Williams is the first driver who did not qualify. So we actually had a lot of drivers not qualify for this one. So we've got Cole Williams, Christian Visconti, Charlie Beyer, Joe Burgy, Paul Granata, Shane DeMantova, Jay Mulder, Justin Johnson, Henry Klappert, Blake Kennedy, your defending JP Designs Open Wheel champion, and he was P2 last season in the Dirt Modified Tour, so look for Blake to have a good run here tonight. Berger Olson to his outside. Then we got Joseph Costello, Ethan Workman, Mason Sweet, myself, Matthew McDonald, Logan Soley, Brandon Sampson, Shane Fuller, RJ Starcevich, Ryan Martin, Keelan Belsha, rounding out the field, the 29 of Aaron Giffen. Now, I apologize if I messed up any names there. This is a new season and just getting to know some of these guys. So, obviously, Drivers are going to begin to hit the grid here. As there's Jay Mulder. Good look at him. You're defending champion of the series, as I said. So, man, a lot of questions going into this season. Nevertheless, here we are. Here's Garrett A. White off the pole. Let's see here. There he is, right there, 26 Clemson truck. He's gonna roll off here as nobody else rolls off with him, but man, a lot of excitement in the air here as these drivers roll off the grid here. So 36 drivers registered for this race. I'm estimating it looks like about 30 are actually taking the grid here. As you see these guys come on to the high banked tri-oval here as they exit pit road. Got a couple guys blinking towards the back. Well, this is it. World Center of Racing, Daytona International Speedway. We are here. Many other drivers are here. And so many questions. A lot of these guys, a lot of newcomers, a lot of old comers. Guess if that's what you want to say. 23 car having a blinking issue up there. But, I mean, it's... As I said, this raises a lot of questions. Not a lot of these guys are familiar with each other. Of course, many people know certain people in this league, but we've got new guys, rookies, that many people may not know of. And different friend groups coming together here, putting on a show for us here. As the pace car lights are off, and Garrett A. White in the number 26 machine is going to bring us to the green flag here. My bad for that. Had to drag that screen over here. Right. The dawn of a new era. The second season of the World Online Racing Championship brings us the JP Designs Truck Series. Garrett A. White gets the call to green, and here we are. Garrett A. White, Chase Marsden bringing us to the green flag for the first time this season here at Daytona. Already off to a interesting start. A little bit of blink smoke going on there, but shouldn't be too big of an issue here as these guys get through turn 1 and 2. And down the back straightaway we go. As here is Garrett A. White with Chase Marsden to his outside. Marsden has the run with Ramstead all over his back bumper. Ramstead and Marsden, both rookies, both teammates actually. As ATVO having some issues here with that top ticker. We'll see if we can get that figured out here. Chase Marsden leads lap number 1 here. As we'll pull up the side ticker here for now. And Marsden, White, Ramstead, Frimpong, Canizaro looking to be your top 5 right now as the pack has sort of split themselves apart from each other here. It looks like we've got a couple packs. And Garrett A. White has his teammate behind him, Jaden Carter. And so we've got 2 groups of teammates working 2 by 2. With Canizaro up there on the outside, Richard Mandoncha, WORC veteran. Cole Williams looking to make it 3. Williams taking no prisoners early here as Williams stuffs himself in the wall. There's Cole Williams. He's losing a lot of speed. He forced the issue early here, and I am not sure how that's going to pay off for him. Man, I don't know what Cole Williams was thinking there. He made it 3 wide. And right behind Williams, there's a little bit of a train going on here as the 129 backs out of line. There's Granata. And there's Jay Mulder, as we said, defending champ. And Mulder also making a little bit of a number change. He didn't quite claim his number right away in that Toyota Tundra. Look at this big pack back here. Lots of heavy hitters. Granata, Mulder, We've got a couple rookies like Samson, Christian Visconti back here, Matthew McDonald, Ryan Martin, Keelan Belsha, and I'm interested to see here Hunter Fox and RJ Starcevich kind of just said screw it and left the pack. They are way back here. So that'll be interesting to see here. As meanwhile, up towards the front, we are 3 wide. Timmy Spatz, Richard Mandoncha, and John Cannizzaro. And now Mandoncha to the inside of White. Not going to let it happen. As Ramstead and Marsden will continue to lead here. And it almost makes you wonder, what are these guys' plans? Everyone has a different strategy, it seems, at Daytona. In terms of fuel, I don't see too many issues. Of course, dropping back to the pack, some guys are, as you see, are doing that. Joe Burgy tried to make a move up there. Doesn't look like it's working. He got put 3 wide, and that'll shift him to the back as he's going to be all alone up there. And there's a big train on the inside. And look who it is. Blake Kennedy, your defending champion in the JP Designs Open Wheel Tour, and he finished P2 in the Dirt Modified Tour. He is here tonight, and he is in the top 10 at the moment as drivers changing lanes. Lots of things happening at once here. As we look at Mark Frimpong here, remember he had a very heartbreaking early end to his championship run, as did Cole Williams and Joe Burgy, actually all 3 of them in a line right there on that top side. Mark Frimpong was unfortunately a target of an intent wreck in the championship race, which ultimately knocked him and Cole Williams out of that one, and Joe Burgy had too much damage to sustain a run. And unfortunately, that's just how it happened. Anyways, we're going to pull the side ticker down for a second to talk about some race info so far. So this race is scheduled to be 75 laps. Currently, of course, as you know, we're quite a few laps into this one so far. 186 total miles. Looks like the average lap time is about 49 seconds here as Cole Williams makes a move to the top. John Cannizzaro is slow. And we're just going to skip on Cannizzaro there. Looks like he's just dropping to the back as they are 3 wide towards the front. Looks like Shane DeMantova making a lot of moves here early on as him and Garrett White take the top spot. Ramstead and Marsden get a little split up. And does Ramstead have a little bit of front end damage? I can't tell. It could just be from pushing, of course. But Shane DeMantova now making a move to the top of the racetrack with Richard Mandoncha. And Bridger Olsen up to P3 inside of DeMantova there. Looks like DeMantova and Mandoncha are going to get left out. Maybe not. Here comes Carter and Williams. Cole Williams again making another aggressive move to the top side. Williams, that's not the first time he's made it 3 wide, of course. We watched him pancake it in the wall on lap 2. And Cole being very aggressive early on. We'll have to see how this works for him. As there they go, 2x2 through the corner. Bridger Olsen trying to challenge Garrett A. White for the lead here is so far nobody besides those 2 guys who qualified on the front row and White and Marsden have even been able to take the top spot. DeMantova looked like he was promising for a second, but lots of 2x2 racing here as Olsen and White go through 3 and 4. And Marsden's going to get to the inside of White for a second here, and there's a lapped car in front of them. I believe that's Joe Knockel. And that's Joe Knockel, slow off the pace. Not sure if he pit started or what, just trying to avoid a wreck. Hoping everyone's careful of his merge there as Big train here. Paul Granata aggressively moving down. I'm gonna go back and check real quick on the 24 and the 3 who were drafting together at the beginning of this. And not sure where they are. There's Starcevich. Starcevich is having a blinking issue, it looks. But Hunter Fox is pushing him right there. They're both teammates on Fox Motorsports. Oh, caution flag. Not sure what's going on. The 95 has damage. Trying to see where the cause of that caution is. And Joe Burgy's not on the racetrack, so we're gonna try to get a replay here real quick for you, as we will bring in the WORC replay real quick to try to figure out what happened here to cause this incident on lap 11. Alright, I believe what we are looking at here, I'm not sure. I can't figure out what happened here. We're gonna go back and look here. Burgy kind of blinks out. But according to my session events, he got a 4X there. We're gonna look at the 95. I noticed he had some damage. As 95 is not on the track, maybe? I'm not sure what is happening here. As Workman, Belsha, Bayer. A lot of guys got 4Xs, but unfortunately, none of these are actually loading these drivers. And I'm not sure why. As... Huh. I apologize for this. As you can tell, none of the drivers are loading up here so we can even see what caused that wreck. There's the yellow flag waving. Yeah, I'm not sure. These guys all ended up with 4Xs. I don't... Very confused as to what happened here. We're gonna go live real quick, see if we can find Cole Williams on track. As Williams, I notice, is down, damaged. And iRacing is seeming to struggle to find anybody on track. There's pit road, and there's the 53 with a lot of damage. I'm attempting to find out what happened here to Mark Frimpong. Where is Frimpong here? For some reason, the number 53 is not... There he is. Okay. Okay, let's see. Can we figure out what happened to Mark Frimpong as cars came down pit road? There's Frimpong. Blinks out right there. I'm not sure if iRacing is just not loading what occurred, or well, as you see, there are vehicles on the track. Oh, there it is. Alright, let's get a look at this finally. From the view of Mark Frimpong. Oh, the 20 blinked out. Cole Williams gets turned. Okay, so Cole Williams looks like he got turned in that 42 machine across the racetrack. So we're gonna get an onboard here in Far Chase with Williams, see what happened here. So 3 wide for the lead. And Williams, oh, Williams came up to give the 20 some room because he blinked out. So the 20 blinking out caused a big crash here early on. And my apologies for the mistake here on the replay, as I did try to figure it out. Oh, looks like maybe iRacing is having an issue because there appeared to be more cars in front of them. But yeah, the 42 gets turned by the 46, and there goes that. Not sure what's happening here. Anyways, back to the leader, if it lets us. Or not. There we go. Okay. My apologies for the issues here with ATVO. I'm not sure why everyone is blinking out, but anyways, we're back live now. That was a little bit of a painful struggle. My apologies for that. As I said, I'm not sure what happened. It just, I don't know, ATVO acting kind of weird. Either ATVO or iRacing, I can't tell. As you saw, everyone kind of blinked out right there, but looks like Cole Williams getting turned was the cause of that. Not sure what the admins will relay that on. I would probably put that on the 20 for blinking. But I would also probably call it a racing incident because, of course, the 20 blinking, not much he can do about it. I mean, of course, he's the one who pays the Wi-Fi bill. But anyways, pace car comes off and Joe Burgy's leading this one. And as I noted, Joe Burgy had an incident from that wreck. Clearly his truck looks fine. Might have been a netcode incident, if anything. As we're back underway here in this one. And couple cars blinking towards the back. Looks like that's the 24 of Starcevich, as we've already got two packs that have separated here as Joe Burgy leads this one. Mason Sweet lined up behind him. Sweet has an oval win here in WORC, actually. Fun fact. As Sweet drops to the apron. Never mind. Him, Spats, looks like a few more dropping to the back. And look at this interesting name in the top 5. Shane Fuller in that 57 brightly colored Sunoco Chevrolet Silverado. Fuller joined back when we had a super late model series. Didn't really get any starts under his belt, and here he is in the truck series. Making honestly a true debut. I don't believe he actually turned many laps in his super late model race he ran. So Mr. Fuller here in that 57 machine looking to grind out some laps here at Daytona as he goes to the inside. Garrett A. White looked like he wanted to make a move on Joe Burgy. We'll see if D. Mantova can push him up there. As the packs have separated and D. Mantova tries to get down in front of Burgy, and that one almost didn't work out as Burgy had to check up, and that checked up Fuller. And Garrett White now up to the front spot here, and as I said, White won Daytona last season, so he's looking to make it 2 for 2, and White's going to get left out to dry as Burgy goes up with D. Mantova here. And D. Mantova is going to lead this one. Burgy giving a huge shove to the rear bumper of that 948. And Burgy and D. Mantova both go down. Burgy down to the apron almost. Shouldn't say almost. He did. Oh, Cannizzaro gets loose. Contact with White. And that was very close to escalating. I almost don't want to leave this front pack battle, but I kind of want to check on the back pack here, see what's going on. As there's the second pack, led by Visconti. And there's a very damaged Alexander Gangler in front of Blake Kennedy. He's got a front end damage. Doesn't actually appear to be too bad. There's some damage to Amir Page. There's some damage to the 99 machine of Logan Sully. And Kennedy goes out. And then we got a third pack behind these guys. Looks like that's Starcevich, Fox, Knuckle. Knuckle kind of losing them though as Starcevich pushing Fox. So back to the front here. And another name in the top 5 that we don't normally see, Aaron Giffen making his second career WORC start. His first start was in an SLM race at USA as Burgy drops out of line. So Giffen and Fuller, guys, who've only made a single SLM start, coming here to Daytona in the trucks and looking a rocket here. As Fuller all over the back bumper, the 26. And there's Giffen in the 29. Giffen is part of the team that won the championship in the JP Designs Open Wheel Tour last season, as Giffen is teammates with Blake Kennedy. And 2x2 up towards the front for the first 4 rows. As Bridger Olson back up there, he was fighting for the lead earlier in the race. And Giffen's going to pull out a line now. He said no more of that. There's Cannizzaro, who got loose earlier in the run. He's good though. There's Keelan Belsha repping his club in the Mid-South truck. Burgy getting back in line. It looks like Burgy and Giffen merely just wanted to drop to the back of the pack with Jaden Carter there. And then right behind them, here's the pack. Bobby Pastelik, my apologies if I got that name wrong. Timmy Spatz, Paul Granata, and Matthew McDonald. Granata and McDonald teammates with Nova Sim Racing. And McDonald and Paul, of course, both veterans of WORC. Numerous starts and, gosh, probably about, I want to say 80 starts combined between them. And, of course, WORC's only been around for about 10 months. So, I mean, that's a lot of races that these two have been a part of. And glad to see them both back here working together at Daytona. As the night starts to fall here in sunny Daytona Beach, Florida, Mason Sweet now to the back bumper of Garrett White, as nobody's really able to challenge, and Mason Sweet's going to pull out a line. So never mind that. Actually, Mason Sweet may be going down pit road. What is going on with that 56? 96 is Sampson still on pit road as well. We're going to check in here. What is the 56 doing? Is he serving a penalty of some sort? Fuel maybe? I didn't see a jack go up on that thing. So not sure what happened with Sweet there, but meanwhile, Shane DeMantova and Bridger Olson up towards the top of the racetrack. Cannizzaro with a huge push to Garrett White though. And the inside line looks a little bit more formed up than the outside as Fuller and Burgy were there. Burgy's going to drop back again. Burgy not liking what he's seen up here for some reason, and that's not the first time he's dropped back. And Aaron Giffen has driven himself back up to the front, those front six as well, as the sixth driver, of course. But looks like a rhyme. Oh, there's the wreck, and DeMantova kills Giffen. Ryan Martin gets through that, as I can't click on DeMantova for some reason. And yep, we're gonna need an instant replay on that one. Yeah. Alright, well this time at least we found the where the wreck happened. We're gonna bring up the WORC replay here. As here is Shane DeMantova. Right here, it looks like Garrett White kind of blinks into him. And then he merges up the track. Poor Aaron Giffen. Shane Fuller, both of them in bad spots. Aaron Giffen actually doesn't have that much damage. Giffen may have netcoded him. As Belsha got some damage from that. Looks like Matthew McDonald got some damage. I'm going to go back and see what gave the 41 damage here. Not sure if a checkup happened or did he just have the damage. No, he just had the damage. And we're actually going to get an onboard look here with Ryan Martin from that cockpit of his, because he avoided this wreck. And watch here. Checks up for the wreck, sees spinning cars, and he netcode through DeMantova? He netcoded through DeMantova, so DeMantova must have netcode issues because, as you saw, he turned the 26. We're going to get one more look at this if we can here. If we can pull up to 26. Oh. Not wanting to pull up to 26 here on ATVO. And not sure what ATVO is doing, but yeah, so as you saw, a little bit of a netcode issue with the 948. There's Garrett White getting serviced on pit road. And here comes drivers coming down to pit road. Looks like Bridger Olson and John Cannizzaro. So, man, I don't know. I'm a little confused here as to what happened there. As Ryan Martin stays out, so he must not have gotten damage. He netcoded right through that thing. And apologies for that yellow square staying up there. I'm going to get my ATVO director on board here to help me work out a few kinks with the system. As you see here on pit road, lots of drivers going down pit road. We'll see who the first one off is. Looks like Bridger Olson will lead these guys off of pit road. Now is a good time. We're going to go ahead and we're going to check the weather here under caution for the current track conditions here. It's 76 degrees as the night has started to fall with a 78-degree track temp, 13-mile-an-hour wind speed, mostly cloudy skies. It is about 7:30 sim time with a very, very small percentage of humidity here. So, wow. Did you see these guys on pit road here? We are going to bring you back live now with your current leader, Ryan Martin, who is simply just pacing under green. I don't know how he didn't get damaged. He netcoded him, honestly, and got nothing for it. If you're just tuning in now, welcome to WORC TV. My name is Braison Collins, and you're here in the middle of World Online Racing Championship here as Joe Burgy and Bridger Olson both try to fake on a pit road. And there is Henry Klappert in the 34, who is not actually on the lead lap. He's 4 laps down. Not sure if he had a computer issue or something, but he is here now. Yeah, he's 4 laps off. No, he's more than 4 laps down, I think. I believe I'm having a little bit of a leaderboard issue, but I don't believe Mr. Klappert is 4 laps back. So I'm not sure what happened to him. He's got a very clean truck, though, and maybe he can nab a few spots here, depending on if more people wreck or not. Anyways, back to the front, Ryan Martin, who is honestly a guy I'd consider as WORC's Iron Man. He has the second most starts in WORC behind, well, myself, and obviously he's going to surpass me this season as I've become the main broadcaster for the league. So, you know, Ryan Martin of all drivers currently active, he has the most starts. Unfortunately, though, Ryan Martin's searching for something. That's a win. Ryan Martin, no wins in his WORC career. And he has very few lead laps as it is. I believe only 14 lead laps his entire WORC career. So Ryan, then that Blue Rifle Coffee, back the blue machine, looking to get something going here. Very interesting color choice on that black and gray with the green roll cage and all. So we'll see here what Ryan Martin can do. Pace truck lights are off as we're about to go back green flag racing here with still quite a few trucks left in this one. Here's Ryan Martin and Joe Burgy. Green flag is out, and Burgy last restart was up towards the front. Looks like we got Olson and then Kennedy. We got newcomers Timmy Spatz and Bobby Pastelok and Joseph Costello right there in the mid-pack. Behind them, RJ Starcevich, a rookie, only made a few career WORC starts. Christian Visconti pushing him. Man, a lot of guys here, but Joseph Costello, a name we've not heard in WORC, as I just said, with Timmy Spatz and Bobby Pastelok. They're here though now, as we see down the back straightaway here, going into 3 and 4. Ryan Martin still leading, but Burgy putting a bumper to the back of the 11 as Kennedy somehow cycled himself to 3rd on the outside line. And Bridger Olson gonna take this lap as Timmy Spatz is not on the back bumper of that 9 car of Ryan Martin. And now Joe Burgy makes it 3 wide. Does he have help from Kennedy? Kennedy says no. Starcevich blinks. And Costello swervy there on the inside line. That looked like it kind of scared Blake a little bit as Costello's super swervy. Spatz up to the outside now. Spatz looking to make a move to the front. And Timmy Spatz, first ever WORC race. That ripped U.S. flag truck looking to do something as Ryan Martin gets super loose in front of Costello and Beyer. And oh man, I'm not sure what happened there with Martin. I think he just caught the apron, but Spatz's lead does not last long as Bridger Olson will lead this one. And Blake Kennedy now up to 2nd. Can Kennedy get a move? He's on the outside. Will Spatz go with him? No, Spatz drops to the inside. And Kennedy, Costello, Burgy, Starcevich, looks like that's your outside line. We'll see what Blake can do here if he can get a run, but the inside line looks a lot more formed up than the outside line. As you see Keelan Belch exiting pit road. Oh, we got a car around. Mason Sweet. Mason Sweet and Christian Visconti, no yellow. Visconti looks clean. Not sure what happened to Sweet. We're gonna go back real quick, take a quick peek. They jumbled up, and Sweet got turned off the front end of somebody. Accidentally got Visconti there. That's unfortunate for them. Sweet's got front end damage. Meanwhile, Kennedy took the lead while we were taking a look at that incident. And Blake Kennedy, man, he is having a strong start to the season if he wins this one. I mean, dude is becoming insane. Just came off of a season last season where he finished second in points for the Dirt Modified Tour, and he won the JP Designs Open Wheel Tour Championship. And as you know, JP Designs Open Wheel Tour mainly a road series. And Henry Klappert, what is he doing up there? As many laps down as he is, Henry Klappert, he's 18 laps down, pushing Joe Burgy to the front. Henry Klappert just kind of said, "Screw this, I'll get my laps back on my own." And look at that 34, look at that 34 truck up there, man. On the league Instagram page, I did ask for people to post some superlatives. I don't really know how to say that word, but asked for some people to post some, and Henry Klappert seemed to be the most popular choice for, as somebody said he would wreck the field, others said he would win, which is highly unlikely at this point. Um, but hey, he's up there, many laps down. And Charlie Byer up to third. Byer did not race WORC at all last season, and Byers made some limited starts. He made a lot of starts in the Street Stock Series back when we started that last year, March 26, 2020. So coming up on that date. Man, Byers been here for the long run, and although he didn't race last season, he's back here again, and it's good to see Charlie back. We like to see some of our original guys come back and run with us, and good to see Charlie here at Daytona. He finished P2 in the Street Stock race here, and Charlie did win the inaugural Super Speedway Series race here, so we'll see if Charlie can continue some of that Daytona magic. And to tonight, he has a little bit of front end damage, but that doesn't seem to be stopping him in his Illinois club-themed truck. As outside line starting to form up with Granata, McDonald, Klappert, three friends, and they're trying to make something happen up there. We'll see if anybody follows suit. Looks like Amir Page might get behind Klappert. And there's Joe Knockel once again going a lap down. Not sure what he's doing. He's been going a lap down since the beginning of the race. Not sure what his strategy is, or if he's had to serve penalties of some sort, or what, but not too much action going on except for Paul Granata making his way to the front. McDonald and Granata working really well together, Nova Sim Racing teammates. And Granata in a flashy new Nova Sim Racing truck. Got a lot of rear end damage, but he's looking good other than that, moving his way to the front. We'll see if Granata can side draft here, as Joe Burgy has a huge gap between him and Byer, and that's going to help that outside line a lot of Granata, McDonald, Klappert, Page, and Costello now up there on the outside line. And the top three starting to pull away actually, as Burgy and Granata kind of stalling each other out. Not sure what's going on there, as Granata's run seems to have just stalled out. Klappert and McDonald can't help him. Look at the 82, Alexander Gangler. He's made one start. That was in the Santa Short Track shootout. He had a lot of front end damage. Looks like he's got most of that repaired though, and he may not even be down RPMs, as he's scoped his way into the top 5 here, as Bridger Olson continues to lead with Blake Kennedy and Charlie Byer in line with him. Burgy now trying to help the outside line get moving as he goes up in front of Granata. And some names we haven't heard just in the top 10 in that second pack. We've got Ethan Workman in the 25. Might need to change the color of that number, Ethan, but looking good up there in the top 10. Then we got Hunter Fox, Jaden Carter, teammates. Actually, Hunter Fox, Jaden Carter, RJ Starcevich, all teammates for Fox Motorsports working together. And then we got Bobby Pastelek and Timmy Spatz, two rookies. Behind them, Ryan Martin went to pit road. Just noticed that now, so that's interesting. Joe Knockel also coming off of pit road. There's Visconti and Sweet working together as we saw them wreck early on. Ramstead and Marsden working together. Marsden is actually up there towards the front. He's kind of like Henry Klappert, a lap car in with the lead lap cars. So there's Ramstead all alone. He lost the pack. And then Belsha and Fuller laps down. So Marsden right now would get the lucky dog. Actually here, yeah, there's Giffen on pit road still getting serviced. So that, what I thought was netcode must have hit him harder than what I believed it did. However, Joe Burgy has ditched the outside line and put himself up to the front. As the outside line really dies out right there, as looks like Marsden tried to fit his way in front of Klappert, and Granata has to leave McDonald alone up there. So McDonald and Klappert are going to have to find their own ways back in the line here. So they've single filed out right now, and I think right now is a good time to bring ourselves up a little mid-race info. 41 laps to go in this one. We've had 2 cautions, 4 caution laps, 17 lead changes so far. As Joe Burgy leads a single file train here in this one. And Top Ticker might actually be working. That's a good sight. And there's Burgy through 3 and 4. As he leads Olsen, Kennedy, and more. And there's Visconti and Sweet. Fortunately for both of them, they're both about to go a lap down unless an unforeseen caution happens right about now. And Visconti actually might be trying to make a move on Sweet to try to get by him here to get a lucky dog spot. Sweet does have front end damage, so not sure if Visconti knows that obviously, as he's been trailing behind him for most of the race, but halfway through this one, I mean, you've got to feel bad for Visconti. He was an innocent bystander of Sweet getting turned, and unfortunately it got him. Olsen and Granata to the outside line trying to make a move. Page, Klappert, Marsden coming in with a run, and Marsden pushing Klappert. They're going to have to lift. And that one almost looked bad as Marsden and Klappert both mini laps down. Marsden 1 lap down compared to Klappert being about 18. So if I'm Henry Klappert, I'm not being too aggressive here. I'm just here for fun. And for points, I guess. Although as I mentioned here, Klappert could gain some spots. He is up to 29th in this one, so he is gaining spots by staying out there. And Granata all over the back bumper, Bridger Olsen. If Olsen doesn't clear Burgy here. Wow, somehow, I believe Olsen may have been clear for a second, and Kennedy wasn't really pushing too hard on the 83. But Burgy and Olsen side by side here for the lead. And they're 3 wide. Page either got shuffled to the far outside or went up there on his own. I'm not too sure what happened there, but Granata working his way to the front. He might be trying to get around Bridger Olsen, actually. As Olsen falling off the pack a little bit. Let's see here. Kennedy and Beyer, they had a little bit of a line, but they couldn't quite make anything happen here. As Olsen may get a slight run, no. I believe Kennedy and Burgy have the run through the corner. Kennedy's gonna have to pull up though if he doesn't want Olsen to get behind. If he wants Olsen to get behind him and push him to the front, and Kennedy is not gonna pull for it, as we've got a little bit of a smaller pack now. Christian Visconti, I believe, lost the pack. Let's see what happened to him. Visconti's in a second pack with Spatz, Pastelek, and Starcevic. As I did not realize Starcevic lost that pack. And Hunter Fox is back here with Jaden Carter, Ethan Workman, and Ryan Martin. So some smaller packs forming throughout the field as they're starting to get shuffly up here as Olsen going to the front with the help of lap car Chase Marsden. Marsden trying to get his lap back on his own. He is only 1 lap down, and of course he's very much allowed to race for that lap back. Whether it becomes a sportsmanship issue if he starts making some interesting moves, well, we'll only find out from there. But they single file out right now to the bottom, and I'm not sure how the fuel run is going to work, but we may have to pit for fuel here soon. I believe you can only go about 20-ish laps on fuel. Trying to create some strategy here, so of course we'll see. Joe Burgy is currently 20 laps onto his fuel run, everyone else about 17, 18 laps. And as you see, everyone's starting to single file out. I believe pit stops are going to come soon. At least for that 83 stake, they hopefully should come soon. Field strategy is always a fun one because you got, especially at Daytona, you've got many different packs of cars that are all trying to come together here to pit and whatnot. As there's Burgy. Burgy and Page duck down in a pit road. And Page missed it. Oh my. Amir Page completely blew pit road. And we'll get a look here on pit lane. Not sure who else went down pit road there. But there's the packs of cars coming by. And here we are back to the lead pack as they're still single file out. They're getting ready to pit here soon. And looks like they're going to need to make another stop after this one. So it looks like we could be having one more pit stop left in this one for most of these guys. There's Olsen and Kennedy. We'll see who comes down this time, who doesn't. Kennedy peeks out to stay out. And Kennedy stays out. Many come in. And somebody smoked the tires coming down there, hit the commitment cone. So lots of pit road mishaps here as there's another pack staying out here in this one. Looks like that's the pack being led by Hunter Fox. So there's that. So this next time by, I would expect to see these four of Kennedy, Granata, Gangler, and Marsden go down, and Granata and Kennedy working really hard as Granata has pushed Kennedy away from everyone else. Granata, I personally believe, is a very underrated super speedway pusher, I guess I should say. He is really good at. Oh, there they go. Marsden's gonna stay out. Marsden, oh no, he's just gonna oh, miss pit road. Marsden went to go down, and I'm not sure if he didn't quite get the signal or what, but we'll see here what happens with this pack. Hunter Fox stays out another lap. Fox, Carter, Starcevich, and Martin stay out, and Fox, Carter, Starcevich are all teammates, so Hunter Fox leading this one. We'll have to see how how pits cycle out. Looks like Bridger Olsen may cycle out of pit road as the leader. I'm not sure. If I'm these guys in this situation, I'm not taking tires. I'm taking fuel. You get about 20 laps per tank of fuel. And I'm waiting to see here what these Fox Motorsports cars do. Between the 3, the 40, and the 24, we'll see if they come down or not. They're all... Starcevich is 21 laps on the tank of fuel, whereas Fox and Carter are 20, and I believe Fox may have ran out. Fox may have run dry. We'll have to see if Hunter can get to his pit stall. And we'll see if he can here. Starcevich really slow on pit road. Fox has to avoid him. We'll see this Fox make it to a stall. And looks like he will make it to a stall. And he coasts his way forward down pit road. Starcevich almost hits him. I don't think Fox is going to make it to a stall. And he does. Fox makes it to a stall. That's good for Hunter Fox. Meanwhile, back up front, Bridger Olsen and Joseph Costello lead here. Kennedy managed to cycle his way in here with these leaders. So let's get a look at the second pack here. Matthew McDonald leads it. Jay Mulder back out on track. Good to see from him. So McDonald, Granata, Bayer, Knockel, and Mulder. Knockel and Mulder laps down. So this is essentially Granata, Bayer, and McDonald. However, McDonald... I don't believe McDonald's a lap down. So McDonald must have gained a few positions there on whatever strategy he had. And as I mentioned, of course, here's Blake Kennedy up in the lead pack. And Mason Sweet up there with them. Sweet a lap down following his spin from the pack earlier. Sweet, McDonald, Knuckle, Visconti, each one lap down. Looks like, or no, maybe Visconti's back on the lead lap. ATVO trying to update here. Looks like Ramstead and Marsden are each a lap down. And I believe that's it for drivers who are currently on track. Joe Burgy at a 51.4 second pit stop and Amir Page at a 54.3 second stop. So I believe they both sped on pit road, which may have cost him a little bit of time. And Timmy Spatz blinks out a little bit. I wasn't sure what was going on there with him, but anyways, up to the front, Matthew McDonald's pack has caught the leaders, and Olsen goes to the outside. Not sure what the reasoning is there, but Olsen is going to let Joseph Costello get there, and that was a bad idea on Olsen's part because you've got a lap car of Mason Sweet there, and Sweet doesn't really have to work for anybody here. He's not going for the lead. So we'll see what happens here with Sweet. Maybe Olsen just would rather have McDonald and Granata behind him, as McDonald is all over his back bumper in that 41 Plan B Sales Jimmy Johnson throwback. Through 3 and 4 they go. And Olsen's going to lead the lap, so I guess having McDonald push him was a good idea. McDonald, oh, blinks out. And Olsen says, okay, never mind. Ramstead looks like he's about to go another lap down. As he's actually 2 laps down now. So your cars a lap down are actually, officially, Matthew McDonald, Mason Sweet, Joe Knuckle, Christian Visconti. 2 laps down are Clayton Ramstead. 4 laps down is Chase Marsden, who I believe ran out of fuel when he missed pit road. Henry Klappert, 14 laps down, is up to 22nd, so I guess avoiding those 2 early big wrecks really do something for him. And so McDonald here is really fighting for his lap back. And Paul Granata is kind of sitting there behind him like, well, I know you're my friend, you're my teammate, but please get down. If I'm Granata, I want McDonald to get down now. As McDonald blinks out, there you go. McDonald gets down. McDonald comes back up. If I'm McDonald, I'm fighting for that lead lap at the moment. Actually, Granata can come down. Granata had room to come down. Not sure why he didn't. Granata could have taken the lead. As McDonald keeps blinking out, if I'm Granata, I don't want to be behind him right now at the moment. And Granata has to check up a lot for that blink out. Knuckle has to check up. If I'm Kennedy and Granata, I am stressing out right now. McDonald and Knuckle each a lap down. And McDonald blinking like crazy. And McDonald is dropped to the back of that pack. Not sure what's going on here. McDonald may throughput. He's blinking out very harshly. Bridger Olsen back leading here again. And Olsen at a 2.3K iRating. Looking strong here in this one. I think in this race, as these drivers single file out, you really got to feel bad for the guys, for specifically Mulder, Frimpong, and Williams, who were all involved in that lap 1 wreck. And I mean, Frimpong and Williams both out for the race, unfortunately for them. And it sucks because, unfortunately, I couldn't quite get the replay of that. iRacing kept blinking out, and, well, you know, just how things go sometimes. But single filed out up here, we're going to try to take a look back at the pack behind them, which I believe is being led by RJ Starcevic. There it is, Starcevic, Carter, Workman, and Marsden. There's Hunter Fox, who ran himself out of fuel. He's drafted with Ryan Martin. There's Pastelik and Spatz as they're working together. So everyone's kind of single filed out right now. Mainly everyone just hoping for a caution. And Christian Visconti, I'm trying to find him on track. I don't see him. I'm not sure if he disconnected from the race or what. And looking for Henry Klappert. Not sure where Klappert is either. There he is. I noticed Klappert there. I'm not sure why iRacing's not picking him up. I just saw him though. Klappert was drafting with Burgy and them. There we go. ATVO is having some interesting issues with the auto apply method tonight. My apologies for that. It's supposed to auto apply the camera and driver changes, and it didn't. So, anyways, Kennedy pushes Granata to the lead and slots himself in second in line on the inside. And McDonald and Sweet to the outside, both lapped cars. And Mulder's sort of coming up there to help them. Looking like they're going to make a little lap car train here, I guess. I'm interested to see what McDonald and Sweet do here. As I just mentioned, they're both lap cars. So, I mean, you've got all the leaders single file to the inside. I don't know how they're prevailing as much as they are, first off, and second of all, how are they going to affect the battle for the lead? Because, as I've mentioned, McDonald and Paul Granata, the 41 and the 04 right there, they are teammates at Nova Sim Racing, and they're also really good friends in real life. They're best friends, if you will. So, I mean, you really think that McDonald's going to give that 75 a chance to make a move if he can. And the 56, as I mentioned earlier, is not working for anyone, so who knows what he's going to do. So, Granada continuing to lead with Kennedy on the inside behind him there. McDonald may clear. No? We're going to do a quick run through here of your top 10 here. So Granada leads. As you see, there's Kennedy in second, Olsen in third, Costello fourth, Beyer fifth, Alexander Gingler sixth, RJ Starcevich here in his second pack back in seventh, Jaden Carter 8th, Ethan Workman ninth, and then Timmy Spatz back here in his own pack back in 10th. And then there's Bobby Pasteluk behind him. There's Hunter Fox, who may have lost Ryan Martin. Ryan Martin went in pit. So Martin is now a lap down. Anyways, back up to the front here. As right now, it looks like the top 6 are kind of in the best spot. They've got a lot of lap cars around them, sure, but they're the only 6 who can run for this win right now. This pack is not as big as it looks in terms of lead lap cars. And these guys are about 10 to 12 laps on their stints of fuel here. So any time from now, though, to the end of the race, the pit window is open. It's just a matter of when you want to pit. If you are on this strategy here, are you expecting a caution towards the end of the race? Are you expecting to use those 2 WORC green-white checkers? You know, that's part of your strategy here. You can pit right now and make it to the end on the field, no problem, but you have to go green all the way, and it's probably better to have somebody come with you. So you got to have people on board with you that want to come run your strategy. And I think Granata and Kennedy got lucky in the sense that they were basically, actually Granata, Kennedy, and Gangler, they were the only 3 that really stayed out of their pack, and well, now Granata and Kennedy are leading this thing, so their strategy worked out the best of the bunch, I'd say, for the last ones. I'd say the strategy that didn't work out the most was Hunter Fox, because he is very much in danger of going a lap down, as Fox is 40 seconds back on the field, and Joe Burgy and Amir Page, I'm not sure what happened to them. There they are, drafting with Knuckle and Klappert. We saw Amir Page miss pit road, so we know he had to serve a penalty. Burgy may have sped on a pit road to avoid Page spinning, or may have cut down or something. Not too sure. But anyways, back to the front. And Clayton Ramstead somehow caught the pack here. And Ramstead 3 laps down, unfortunately for him, so he's actually not the car in that pack, though. That's the most laps down. That goes to the guy in front of him, defending champ Jay Mulder, who is 32 laps down. Unfortunately, tonight, of the 34 drivers who actually took the grid, only 26 remain actually in the race. Make that 25, I believe, as Christian Visconti has disconnected from the race officially. Not sure if it was a disconnect or a throughput, but he is not here right now. There's Granata with the help of his best friend. I mean, you've got to think here that Granata's in the best situation, but that Kennedy, with McDonald leading Granata, is not necessarily in the worst spot because Kennedy can make a move, and if he can convince Olsen and Costello and Bayer come along with him, even if Kennedy can convince at least Olsen and Costello to come with him, that leaves Granata and McDonald alone. That leaves a 3-car gap between them and Bayer. And then at that point, Matthew, as a lap car, does he get out of the way to give Paul a chance? Or what does Matthew do in that situation? So Paul right now is in a good situation at the moment, but when it comes down to a move for the win, what is going to happen with Paul? And McDonald almost gets turned off his front bumper. So that's almost what happens to Paul. And McDonald is blinking now in front of the field. This is going to prove interesting. We're going to take a quick look back at our other packs here. Starcevich, Carter, and Workman. And Marsden sticking together here. Spats and Pastelik still together. And Hunter Fox has been absorbed into the Amir Page, Joe Burgy. How did Henry Klappert get damage? Klappert has been alone most of this race, not involved in any wrecks. Yet Klappert has damage on his left side. Alright. That's the most Henry Klappert thing I've ever seen if I've seen one. Meanwhile, speaking of Henry Klappert getting lapped, well, he's about to. Here comes Granata in the pack. Down the back straightaway, and man, I'm interested to see. These guys right now are about 15 to 17 laps in on their stint. And this might be where Burgy and Page and Fox can catch a break. Because Fox is 14 laps on a stint, so maybe not necessarily Burgy and Page, but Fox can catch a little bit of a break here because he can stay out an extra 3 laps. So Fox can probably stay out an extra lap, try to get together with some of his teammates on a stop, and work with them somehow in this one. McDonald finally just gives up, goes to the top, so he will go back a lap down officially in this one. As these guys try to single file themselves out, I'm looking at Ryan Martin is 6 laps on a stint. I'm not sure what Ryan Martin's strategy is. I don't know if, I mean, Martin I don't think can make it to the end on fuel. So he's hoping for a yellow. Yeah, well, Martin is 7 laps in on a stint. You would have needed to pit about 6 laps ago. And here they come. Here comes everybody but Kennedy and Granata. So Kennedy and Granata once again will stay out another lap. This time flip-flop though, as Kennedy will push Granata. There's a look at pit road. Very busy here. As you see the pack led by Starcevich. They go around another lap, and Aaron Giffen off of pit road after damage. Pastelik off of pit road very quickly. Here comes Spats, Burgy, Page. Looks like more drivers to come. Bayer, Sweet, Olsen. Olsen gets beat out by Bayer, so that's interesting. There's Granata and Kennedy all alone. Their strategy worked best last time. Let's see if they pit here or if they pit next time around, and they will come down to pit this time, as will Hunter Fox. So Fox may end up suffering a lap down. Sucks for Fox. He had a good strategy, but just couldn't quite make anything of it. So there's pit lane. Still busy. There's Chase Marsden. Oh! Jaden Carter gets spun on pit road by Ethan Workman. That's huge. That's a penalty for both of them, I believe. That should be an unsafe pit entry. There's Granata trying to get out of pit road. And McDonald somehow beat both Granata and Kennedy. And Kennedy trying to get out ahead of Ramstead. I don't know, I'm sorry. I'm learning names. There's Bayer being pushed by Mason Sweet. And I believe this means Charlie Bayer's your leader. However, Charlie Bayer is 2 cars. him and Sweet. So, I don't know, we'll see here. Bridger Olsen is P2, and there he is solo. He's got Gangler catching up behind him, and here comes Henry Klappert to give Olsen some draft, so maybe Klappert can play a factor here, help Olsen catch on, as Mulder's going to get in line in front of Gangler, who's all alone. There's Granata and Kennedy. So Granata and Kennedy's strategy still works out well. They're 4th and 5th. There's Costello being pushed by Knockel, who's going to have to pit soon. There's Starcevich, who got left by Workman and Carter, who both got penalties. I'm not sure. We'll see if Workman serves this penalty this time. Maybe Workman doesn't have a penalty. There's Carter serving his, so Carter's night might be done here. There's Hunter Fox trying to get his lap back in the 3 machine. We'll see what happens here. If Fox works with Klappert and Sweet, says, hey, screw these guys, let's get our laps back. So the gap between Olsen and Beyer is, well, the gap between first and second. Normally you don't see that big of a gap at a super speedway track. As there's Fox, he goes to the outside of Sweet, and Klappert kind of gets in line behind Olsen, so they don't quite want to make moves yet. If I'm Klappert, I'm playing a little bit of the opposing advocate here when I say that I'd go to make a move here. Maybe try to see if I can get Fox and Sweet to go by these leaders. Kind of strands Beyer to work with Olsen, and then that kind of makes this one a little more interesting. As Olsen peeked outside right there for a second. I don't believe he liked what he saw of it, though. As Fox is all over the back bumper of Beyer, and, well, if I'm Beyer, I'm not liking this because Olsen keeps trying to make moves for one. Probably trying to get Fox out of line, so that way Olsen, well, he can go make that move for the lead. So we'll see what happens here, because there's 3rd place. 3rd and 4th and 5th. Granata, Kennedy, McDonald, and Gangler all together. So this is a very weird mixed up pack of racing here. And this is what happens when you get a green flag Daytona race, guys. Although as I say that, well, knock on wood if I will. I'm interested to see what that 3 truck does. Try to play spoiler here for Olsen as we keep seeing Olsen. He tries to duck to the outside. However, you can't quite construe Fox to jump outside with him. And there's some lapped trucks in front of him. As there's Aaron Giffen. And Shane Fuller back on pit road. It's good for him. Visconti continuing to go laps down. He's outside of the top 20. There's Marsden. He has caught up with Workman and Starcevich 4 laps down. Jaden Carter 4 laps down. I'm not sure if he's going to make it. Oh, caution's out. Beyer's around. This changes everything. We are going to bring up the WORC replay here. And let's see what happened here to the Charlie Beyer machine. That's 72. As we'll see what happens here. Gets a push from Fox, and Fox doesn't let him on the racetrack, and Beyer gets finished off by Olsen trying to save it. Wow. I'm going to take one more look at this one real quick. Fox gives him a push, not really center, and then sort of hooks him. I'm kind of calling this one on Fox here, I think. Poor Beyer, he attempted to save it, got finished off by Olsen. Of course, nothing that Olsen could do about that. And unfortunately now, here we are under yellow flag conditions with just under 10 to go. And, well, this is what I was talking about earlier when it comes to strategy. All these guys pit, right? But it's about when you pit, how early you pit, you know? I mean, you take a look here. Mason Sweet a lap down, Matthew McDonald a lap down, Amir Page, Ryan Martin. You think these guys take waves, right? I mean, if you're a leader, you pit for fuel. That's my personal opinion. Looks like Klappert's taking a wave, Sweet's taking a wave. And there's pit lane. So looks like Klappert, Sweet. Sweet was the lucky dog. Looks like Mulder, McDonald, Page, Knockel, Ramstead, Marsden. They'll all be trying to get some laps back here. As these guys better hope that this race does not end in a favor that will hurt their strategy, as Granata will come off the leader. Paul Granata will be the leader. Did Bridger Olsen have an issue on pit road? Bridger Olsen is still on pit road. Not sure what happened to Olsen, if that little bit of contact with Beyer may have kept him on pit road. But Bridger Olsen may have lost this race if he doesn't get off pit road. Taking a quick look. Oh, he has a lot of front end damage. I guess it's worse than I thought. Well, that is just downright unfortunate for Olsen. Wow. Charlie Beyer, I believe, is fine. Yeah, he's leaving pit road now. I'm gonna say Beyer shouldn't have damage that will affect him. But for Bridger Olsen, that's killer, dude. Wow. I can't even begin. Look at all those vehicles taking wave rounds up there, dude. That's crazy. Welp. We're gonna driver focus here. Your current leader, Paul Granata, as that's him right there in the 04 Nova Sim Racing machine. Him and Kennedy have stayed on the same strategy all night. But Granata sitting here in first place, having himself a great race here. Can Granata make it to the end? Will Kennedy make it to the end? Who knows? But man, this has been a great race, honestly. Not many wrecks. We're just glad to see everything happen the way it's happened so far. Had a couple big ones, unfortunately, but whatever happens, happens, you know. Honestly, I feel bad for Charlie Beyer, man, getting turned from, well, the lead. That's rough for anybody, really. So, man, I don't even know what to say. I feel bad for Beyer that he got turned from the lead. That's it. But nevertheless, Granata, Kennedy, your front two here. Granata with some rear end damage. Gangler with some front end damage. That'll be interesting. Kennedy got a little bit of a left front. Looks like his hood's kind of crinkled, I guess. Costello in line with him. RJ Starcevich into the top 5. Timmy Spatz, P6, a rookie. Ethan Workman, P7, after that incident with Carter on pit road. Burgy up there. These are all your leaders, basically. Not many left. Lots of cars left in this race, unfortunately. Many of them a lap down. As there comes the lappers. We're going to have to see what these lappers do. I hope they are smart about this. Mason Sweet says no. What is Mason Sweet doing? Mason Sweet's leading. That needs to be called back. If I'm an admin, I'm calling that back. Mason Sweet needs to not be leading this one. That was a jump and a half. And I'm not sure Sweet's going to succumb to position. Looks like he's going to get in line. I'm keeping an eye on that if I'm an admin. Meanwhile, here's Starcevich pushing Kennedy to the front. They're 3 wide. Gangler in the middle. Giffen in the middle is a lap car. Oh! Gangler gets turned. There's the big one. Wow. Absolute carnage. Gangler involved. Workman was involved. Looks like Pastelik, Page, Fox involved. Fox may be done for the race. Klappert involved. He also looks to be done for the race. Very close to getting himself into the top 20 from many laps down. And we're going to have to take a look at this one here on the WORC replay. Alright, we are back now off the replay. Let's see here. Started with the 82 there on that inside line. There's the 82. And Starcevich goes to make a move. Sweet bounces him 3 wide. And Gangler had to lift, which stacked up the inside line. They went 4 wide. What a move by Burgy. I didn't even notice it. And we'll see what happens here. Workman gets the apron. Gangler comes down a little bit. And Gangler comes down. Yep, Gangler comes down in a Workman. And that takes out a lot of race cars. We're going to get an onboard with that 34 truck here, as that was just unfortunate for him. Unfortunate timing right there, man. Gotta feel bad for him. Bridger Olsen, I believe, was in that actually. Was that Olsen? That was Olsen. Olsen was involved, so his day just continues to get even rougher here, as he is on pit road. Well, we've only had a few cautions here. Let's get a mid-race update. 4 laps to go in this one. We'll probably have a green-white checkered here. 4 cautions only. 28 lead changes. I hope these guys realize this race can end under yellow. We've not had a WORC race end under yellow since Super Speedway Series, I believe. I believe it was Super Speedway Series race number 2. I believe was the last one we had end under yellow. We may have had a street stock race end under yellow, like race 3 or 4. But yeah, these guys hopefully they're gonna try to make it to the white. There he is. I keep talking about him. JP Designs Open Wheel Champ Blake Kennedy. He's leading this thing. I told you guys, he's starting off the season strong if he wins this thing, coming off of a 2nd place in the Dirt Mod Tour and a 1st place there in the JP Designs Open Wheel Tour. And man, I'm astounded if he wins this one. RJ Starcevich in P3. He's been kind of mid-pack all race, minding his P's and Q's. And he lines himself up there, P3. And this one will be a single file restart since we did not complete a lap. This has been a WORC rule in effect forever. So these guys will get single file, and this will hopefully give them the best chance to finish under green. And no, it's a little late now, but I received word that Christian Visconti did throughput. So that's unfortunate for him that his power went out there. Here we are, pace car is going to pull off here for a single file restart. We don't do too many of these in WORC, but nevertheless, here we are. Kennedy gets to call the action. And there he goes. Starcevich does not get going in P3. Granata to the inside, and Granata's there. Not sure what Starcevic was doing, but 3 laps to go here in this one. Burgy to the outside. Starcevic is slow. And they're all going to try to single file out, and poor Paul Granata may have gotten screwed by that. Burgy trying to get some on the outside. And the outside line is not here yet. Giffen gets spun up the racetrack. Saves it. What a save by Giffen. Cars in the wall, cars all over the place here. Lots of slow cars, but this is what we want to focus on. Paul Granata pushes Joe Burgy to the lead here. 2 laps to go in this one. White flag this time by. Next flag will end it. Looks like we've got 6 drivers in the running for the win of this one. White flag this time by. Burgy's blocking Kennedy. Burgy down to the inside line now. Kennedy on the outside. Starcevic in line with Burgy. Can Starcevic pull out his first career WORC win? Kennedy, a champion, a previous winner. Burgy, a previous winner. Burgy was in the Final 4 last season in the Truck Series. Got wrecked out early on. Looking for vengeance. Granata makes it 3 wide up the middle. Burgy goes to block Granata. Can't do it. Granata to the lead. Maybe. Side by side. Costello in line with Granata. Here they go through 3 and 4. Granata pinching down on Burgy. It's going to come down to a last lap pass down to the line. Here they are. Granata to the lead. They're 4 wide. They're 4 wide. Granata's going to block all lanes. Kennedy gets spun. Paul Granata's going to win at Daytona. RJ Starcevic up and over. And Joe Burgy finishes second in a very, very close finish. There he is. Wow. There's your winner, Paul Granata. And don't start celebrating yet, Paul. Gotta make it to the line first. Wow. Paul Granata opens up the season with a win and a last lap pass. And wow, look at this one. Paul Granata. Burn it down. Maybe he's waiting for the end of the straightaway. Not sure what Paul's doing. Paul's waiting to the end of the straightaway. There he is. Paul Granata in the 04, burning it down for his second career WORC win in that 04 machine. There he is. Oh, bonks the wall there. And we're going to go ahead real quick and go to a quick commercial break while Paul Granata celebrates his win here in style, and then we'll bring these guys right back for interviews. Don't go anywhere. This is WORC TV.
Field them back straight away.
Get ready. This is going to be tight. Out of turn 4, ladies and gentlemen. The All-American 400 is underway.
Gotta be careful. The bumps here can get you every time. Entering the corner, exiting the corner.
Welcome back, everybody, to WORC TV after a very exciting finish at Daytona. We're going to bring in your winner in this 04 machine, Paul Granata. Paul, you're in the WORC TV booth. You got a copy, bud.
I do.
I don't know how you pulled this one out, man, but I guess I've got to ask. You and Blake were on the same pit strategy the entire race, but how did you think that helped you guys out at the end of this one?
Yeah, I just want to thank Blake so much too. I really don't know what that field strategy was. We were just trying what we could there, and that caution came out. I thought that was definitely one of the most best caution I could wish for it there. But wow, I'm still amazed.
Yeah, for sure, Paul, and man, I still have no idea where to begin. Like, that move on the last lap, you guys were four wide for a second there, beginning of the straightaway. What went through your head? Did you just think focus, keep driving, or did you think I have to turn down and block, or what was that?
I definitely didn't even know what happened on the front stretch on that final lap, but all I know is we went into turn one, and I was wanting to push Blake all the way to the back stretch. I wanted to get Blake to the lead, and all of a sudden Joe and Blake made contact, shot Blake up the racetrack. I took the middle, and then Joseph and Costello just pushed me there after turn four. It really helped me. But I don't know how I did it with this race car. I was involved in every single wreck tonight.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, you had a lot of rear end damage there, but Paul, before we let you go, we want to ask, do you have anybody you want to thank tonight?
I just want to thank Nova Sim Racing, Joseph Costello again once for pushing me, Blake for helping me, Josh Patterson, JP Designs, Nova Sim Racing, and my man Main Henry over here. This man fell asleep and went 20 laps down. That is my boy Henry.
That's the most Klappert thing we could think of, I guess. All right, Paul, well, congratulations on your win, man. We're glad to have you with us, and we hope to see you next week.
Thank you for broadcasting.
All right, guys, that's Paul Granata, your winner. We don't have third place in the booth. We're going to see if we can get to him. But however, we do have second place, so close, Joe Burgy. And we'll see if we can bring Mr. Burgy in here momentarily. Sorry, just having a little bit of a Discord issue, not letting people drag. There we go. Joe, you got a copy in the WORC TV booth.
Yep, I do.
So close, man. I can't even imagine. You were there at the end. You led that. You were leading on the white flag, and man, I don't even know.
There's nothing else to say other than I guess racing for the win, but it was a good race all the way. I can't complain about the finish aside from I just don't know why RJ didn't push me to the line, honestly, because we would have had the runoff of 4. He could have probably got second. I most likely would have been able to get the win. It's infuriating. We didn't get wrecked the whole race. We were in kind of a tight spot. We got a speeding penalty. I'll take it, but it's gonna hurt.
Yeah, for sure, man. I saw that pit road miss happen. That's actually gonna be my next question. Can you run me through what happened there with you and Amir Page? I kind of caught the tail end of that there on the broadcast.
No, nothing happened between us. I think Amir just kind of overshot it. I missed it completely on my own. I'm not really good when it comes to green flag pit stops. That's about maybe the 5th or 6th one I've gotten ever. But yeah, me and Amir didn't get into anything. I don't know what Amir was doing though. He ended up in front of me all of a sudden, but yeah, we ended up bouncing back from it. Amazing win for Paul. He deserves that just as much, but it hurts knowing that I would have most likely had it and then just losing it right at the end.
Yeah, for sure, man. It just sucks, man. You came close, but I would say this is good redemption for what happened there at the end of last season. Would you say so?
It'd be fully redemption if we were in that P1, but we'll take P2 going to next week. Try to get P1 there. Like to thank Red Bull for supporting me the whole time. Like to thank everybody who doesn't know what real racing is, aka Hunter Fox. Because I don't know. I guess if you run in the back, always get wrecked. You won't know how to win a race. So that's unfortunate for him. But gotta thank Red Bull, like I said. Gotta thank people for supporting me. Haley, she was on call with me when I was going through that, cheering me on. So can't thank any of them enough. There's something flying in my room, so I'm gonna go deal with that. But have a good rest of the broadcast. Yeah, just good win the poll. Amazing job.
All right. Thank you, Joe. And congrats on your P2. All right, everyone. That's Joe Burgy. Finishes P2. And, well, that's going to kind of bring us to a close. My apologies that keeps happening. My computer does not like the fact that I keep switching things off. Well, that'll be it for us here at WORC TV. Not without going over the starting lineup here first, though. So we are going to pull up that real quick here. All right, your finishing results here presented by JP Designs. Finishing P1 on the night, Paul Granata in that 04 machine. P2, Joe Burgy. And we got RJ Starcevich P3, Joseph Costello P4, Charlie Byer rounding out the top 5. Good recovery after getting spun late in the race. Blake Kennedy, we saw him spinning at the line. He finishes P6. Solid start to the season for him still nonetheless. Joe Knockel P7 was a lap down the whole race basically, and still managed to pull out a top 10 out of this one. Congrats, Joe, on that. P8 Mason Sweet, he was also a lap down after a spin earlier in the race, and he was able to come back from that. And then P9 Bridger Olson and P10 Ethan Workman, both of those guys were involved in that last caution that we had, so good to see those guys were still able to egg out top 10 somehow. And then rounding out the field, we got Alexander Gingler, Bobby Pastelik, Clayton Ramstead, Chase Marsden, Timmy Spatz, Amir Page, Hunter Fox, Matthew McDonald, Ryan Martin, Jaden Carter. Then 21st through last, we had Henry Klappert, Christian Visconti, Jay Mulder, Aaron Giffen, Shane Fuller, Keelan Belsha, John Canizaro, Logan Sully, Garrett A. White, Shane DiMantova, Brandon Sampson, Mark Frimpong, Richard Mandancia, Cole Ames, and then you had Justin Johnson who never gridded, and then of course me. Well, that's it, guys. That does it here from WORC TV. We thank everybody for tuning in today and watching, and we hope everyone tunes in next week. But